we both quit the jobs and started in November 2017. It's good to have competitors, but otherwise there's no market. You know, if you're the only one, you need to ask yourself, is this a market? You should do it, you know, and you always find a way to sponsor yourself or sponsor the company. Our guides are also tourists. Our guides are also influencers. Our tourists are also guides, because they have a job, you know. Yeah, they rent a friend. Yeah. Everyone can throw in money, you know. Everyone can sell €1 for 80 cents. There's no problem. Yeah, it is, right?
Today we are in Hi Guide, an internet platform which connects locals with travelers. Let's check it out. Hi Hubert.
Hello.
We'll jump straight away. Tell me, what is Hi Guide?
Yeah. Okay, Hi Guide is a platform which connects locals with tourists, and the locals act like a private guide. We are active right now in 35 countries, 50 cities worldwide, and there are more than 3,000 local registered guides. So totally right now, yeah.
Which year did you start?
It's a long time ago. 2014 was the first time we did go to the Kamer van Koophandel, Chamber of Commerce. But it really starting developing from the end of 2017.
What did you do before? Because you're the founder, CEO. What did you do before you started this?
Yeah, so I was active in the sales industry. So last job was for Vodafone, telecom company. So yeah, I was developing clients to cross and upselling. I got a lot of holidays when I was working at Vodafone, about 40 days. That's a lot. So I travel a lot, and that's why the idea popped up during a holiday in Bali, Indonesia. We booked a private guide. I was not satisfied about it. It was also not online. So we just booked it in one of the streets, and we thought, okay, I just want to pop up leave a review. I'm not satisfied about this service. It's too expensive. And later, a few months later, I was just thinking about that we had a nice conversation with locals also. So if we combine these two, that should be a nice experience for travelers. And just browsing the internet, there was nothing there yet. So what's nothing there, you should create, right?
Yeah. Well, how was it to start it as you were like the salesperson, no technical knowledge?
Yeah.
How was it to start? What were your first steps?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so that's I'm a salesperson, need no technical skills. When you create or want to create a platform, you need to have technical skills. You can hire it, but the most beautiful part is always to have a co-founder who can also do that. I was searching for this guy, and I found one via LinkedIn. This guy was coming from Breda. It's the southern part of the Netherlands. We starting to meet each other. He was working for KPN on that time, so yeah, it's kind of comparative. It was quite funny. So the cooperation was over there. We created a platform which only was had the ability to add local guides, so the supply side. I wanted to move forward from there because we had already 1,000 guides or something, and he didn't want to make the move, quitting the job and go for it, and I was ready for it. Yeah. So we stopped that cooperation, and I met another one, Tom, in June 2017, and we had just a conversation about the Chinese market because he was living in China, and he came back from China to the Netherlands to participate in Hi Guide, and we both quit the jobs and started in November 2017.
Were you already earning something when you did this step, or it was still like it's gonna make now?
Yeah. You know, so we thought, okay, this is something, right? So the travelers are really enjoying this moment to have an authentic experience. We were reading a lot of in the travel industry what's going to happen there, and there were a lot of stories about millennials. They of course they go to Paris and they enjoy Paris, but they want to experience the true local experience to have a nice story for back home. So the stories were there. We saw on the supply side it was going easily. I think when Tom joined, I think we were already active in 25 countries or something.
But did you say it was just the supply? You were not yet like.
Yeah, the demand side was not complete. Yeah,
And you already saw 25,000 or
25 countries were active. Yeah.
Okay.
On the supply side, so it was very very easy to open another country, another city. So and for me it was also to look which continent.
How did they find you?
In the beginning you're going to try something, Google AdWords, LinkedIn, other stuff. But for us, it's Instagram. What really works for us. Very cheap.
Already after, right? The Instagram you started. After you had the demand already, right?
So in the beginning, the first guys I had a telephone conversation with, so getting on board. It was a guy from Amsterdam, very funny. But but later on, now there's an onboarding process, so we have also always a goal. But in the beginning, it's organically, but sometimes we throw in some campaigns on Instagram to get some more supply. And we can very easy open in a new continent or country with some campaigns. We are open within 1 week, no problem. But the demand side, there was the thing, if you have a marketplace, you got supply, you got demand, and we get some requests, but it was just me, like a Chinese interface, was doing the stuff, connecting these people, So I thought, people are really asking for this, and the supply side is working. We only need to develop the demand side to get a full working marketplace. And from that point on, we did go to work to complete the website.
We hire 2 of you.
Yeah, but we hire because Tom does also not have the skills for developing. So we hired a freelancer, given him an assignment, and May 2018 we were live with a website. Was completely making the rounds, so you got the supply and demand side, and people can make a booking. 18 May. Yeah.
So you're 1.5 years old, roughly.
If the full working website is live from May 2018, so less than 1.5 years and fully operating, and still we are twitching and tweaking. So it's
what
still.
What is the full team? Do you still are just 2 of you, and the rest is freelancing, or how does that work?
Oh yeah, so we need to have developers. So the first stage was finding a freelancer. We did the job. We did a good job. Now we hired 2, a full stack and a front end designer. So that part is covered, the technology. And people are always forgetting about the marketing and sales part,
Especially technical people.
Yeah, and myself, I always trained and did the offline sales part and finding partnerships and that kind of stuff. So, the online industry is totally different. You need to be good at SEO, you need to be good with influencers on blogs and that kind of stuff. So. We need to scale up on that part, but we hired from the 1st of September. There will be starting a person who will do the Spanish language market. Chinese is already covered. We also have one who will do the Chinese part. So we are now with 6 persons, including 2 founders.
I remember you also, before we talked once, you mentioned that still number one thing that kind of gives the biggest, ROI or something, I don't know what exactly you measure, is influencers and Instagram, right? It works the best in your case.
It's also something, if you have the money, we are still with a tight budget working, so you need to be creative. Everyone can throw in money, everyone can sell €1 for 80 cents. There's no problem. Yeah, it is, right? So, but you need to spend your money wisely. So we found out a thing, what going to work for us and also for the influencer. And the influencer is a kind of micro-influencer. There are people with 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers, so not that much. And we approach them. So we say, do you want to advertise our stuff? Just put a link in your bio and you can earn up to 50% of our commission. That's 10% of the total amount. So you're talking about €10 for them. It can be nice, right? So that's still a thing what we are really working on it, and they have now their own dashboard and they can make their own advertisements and what kind of stuff they want to promote. Freedom on all their world apart, and it's working for us. Yeah.
It sounds nice. You're kind of guaranteed with the lead.
Yeah, and it's our own system. That also feels good. But there are a lot of companies who are doing that, Sometimes I reach out to an influencer, and if they have more than 50K followers, there's some kind of agent, and they will be dropping in the process, and they also want to earn money for that. We don't do that. no, screw them.
What is then the business model? I assume you take a percentage, a cut from the guide's earnings?
It's on top. So the guide can ask 10 till 10, between 10 and 40 euros an hour. We put on top 25%. If you calculate it back, it will be 20%. So 20% is our cut of the total amount.
Okay.
And it's what the customer is paying and not what the guide is paying to us.
Yeah. So more like Uber Eats, for example, they put it on top.
Yeah. What we want to do, our purpose is to bring the private guide to the mass industry. If you have a guide who is asking 100 euros an hour, it's not for the middle income, right? So that's why we say 40 euros max, but we have, in average, it's about 22 euros, including our commission. So that's acceptable for everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Worth traveling, of course, yeah. We always look to the cost, but you want to grow fastly, right? I know the competitors for right now.
Actually, yeah. Are there any? And
Yeah.
If you have, what are they?
Yeah, and some people say, oh, you have competitors, so yeah, okay. But it's good to have competitors, otherwise there's no market. You know, if you're the only one, you need to ask yourself, is this a market? Yeah. But there are a few competitors. Also a few I don't know, but we know a bit of 5 or something, and we are positioned at place 4. If you look at the number of guides and the traction we have, but there's one big one in Eindhoven. Yeah, it's the Netherlands. Yeah, but it's very funny because it's a worldwide platform, and both we are in the Netherlands, and they attract a kind of nice funding. And it can be thing, you know, oh fuck, I think it's good news because there are also other companies, investment companies, who are putting money in it. It's also good for news for us because the market is 10 billion a year. And that's a lot of money. And still divided, if you go to a city, Barcelona or Amsterdam, you always see people walking with an umbrella. That's our market, you know. There are people in a group, 30 people are around them. And if you closely take a look to the people, they are all looking to other things. They are not listening or watching to the guide. And they pay maybe 10 euros or something, you know, per person. That's not enough, okay? But you can have a private experience with us with a few euros extra. But they don't know that we are there. And that's the main thing what we need to do also with our competitors, to get an image in the market that you can book a private guide for that cheap. But also you get a lot of local advices. I was in Italy this summer, spending some holiday time off there, and back home we drive through Munich, Germany. It was exactly in the middle, so 1600 kilometers down to Italy. Munich was on 800. My girlfriend was asking what we're doing in Munich. I said, I don't know. We booked a private guide, of course, a high guide. It's Friday in the morning, 2 hours tour, and she gives us advice for the whole weekend. So I didn't have to prepare anything, you know, just book a high guide and it's covered. Of course, you need to write something down because you're talking with her, but and that's the thing. We need to have that image in the world that you're going to book a train ticket or a flight ticket, and then a local guide, and the local guide can also say where you need to book a hotel or accommodation. So we are more in the beginning of the funnel. So you don't have also no need for inspiration. You don't have to need to going through browsing TripAdvisor or something, because you have a guide and you met the guide and you think, okay, what they say, I believe that's true, and we are a little bit like-minded. So if she said that the restaurant is okay, I believe it's okay, and that's what the feeling what we want to bring in the market. It's a long way. So
that's also how you differ on those others, that you focus really on the local than generally a guide, right?
Yeah, it's about the person. I always enjoy talking with others because it gives me a lot of energy. If I look back at the trip, we went two weeks to Italy and Munich. It was one conversation with a few guys from Munich. They were sitting next to each other during a dinner. We talked about, I think, 2-3 hours. Very, very funny. And the guide, of course, the high guide, I remembered. And the other things, I was laying at the pool and reading some books. You forget about those times, but the local experience and talking with locals, you always remember.
If somebody would want to start something like not exactly same, but in similar IT slash connecting something field, what would you say to him? What budget should you have to start it with not being technical?
Yeah, that's a hard question because
In Netherlands.
yeah, but some people always think you need to have tons of money to start something, and it's partly true, but you should do it, and just you need to watch how it develops, and you always find a way to sponsor yourself or sponsor the company. If you really want to do it, you have a really determination that you want to do it. It's no problem, and budget is also no problem because the money will be there. It's a very easy answer to your question, I think, but probably not the right one. But if you look at our money, what we put in right now, it's just 45k.
You mean from this kind of from 2017 till now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's not much.
Yeah.
If you look what we have already created, as a complete platform, already a lot of supply, demand, there's an app. We did a good job.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you were you looking for investors? Because there's a company you spoke before, and they had investors approaching them, but in Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
But the terms that they give them were bad.
Yeah.
And this is not the first thing this is not the only company I hear it from.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah.
So what's your experience? Are you looking for that? Mixed question.
Yeah. It's a constantly process. So the first investment will be done this month. It's a small investment, but it helps us going through for next year for sure. If you look at the burning rate, so 12 months extra, but also money for marketing, so you can develop your revenue. But next month we're still going to have some conversation, and we are still in talking terms with a few investors in Germany and Netherlands. And these kind of things you need to do because we are not operating in Twente or Netherlands. No, because we are in the travel industry, we are directly in the whole world. Because someone is going to Amsterdam to book a guide, but this person is not coming from Amsterdam, this is coming from London. So this guy is also going to Paris or Bangkok, or you name it. If you want to deliver the same experience, you need to be there also. So definitely travel industry directly worldwide. At the end, you need to have tons of money for it, but you need to know where you put your money in to grow. And that's the thing, but we still are looking for it. On the demand side, supply side, we already covered. But on the demand side, we're still looking for it. And if we found that thing, there will be a lot of investors very, very interesting in ourselves. Yeah. Because it's a network effect. Our guides are people, Airbnb is selling accommodations. Of course, there are people who are renting those out. But people can talk, they can promote themselves. So our guides are also tourists. Our guides are also influencers. Our tourists are also guides. So it's if you have a kind of community, but people think, this is really cool to do, that they also want to experience that back home. Our end goal is also to be active in smaller communities, which people are going to book a local person. So someone from Enschede is booking someone from Enschede. Sounds very weird.
Actually.
Yeah.
Well, maybe people like me, for example, which has I haven't lived there all my life. So
Yeah. There are a few companies in China. They are already existing. A lot of people from China are coming from the rural part, from the countryside, going to Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and they have no friends over there, but because they have a job, they rent a friend. Yeah, it sounds very weird, but they do, and they pay for, because they have good paying jobs, right? Because they work in Beijing, etc. So they pay for a few hours, 4-6 hours, to have someone to talk to and to
the connections, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, because you can digitalize everything. Almost. Of course, a chat, you are behind the chat, but also, there can be a chatbot. Yeah. You don't make any difference over there. But if you have a robot in this conversation or a human, totally different. People want to talk with people, and they can be very happy about talking with people. And I think in the future there will be a more important thing that people also are paying for it. But it's 20 years from here, you know, it's not here. It's
well,
not
in
there.
Japan it kind of happens already.
Yeah, that's right. But I think in Europe, you know, it can take a while. But it's also happening there. Yeah, it's happening there.
What was the hardest moment during these 4 years total? Was it 2015?
Yeah, 4 years. But 4 years, I was still working at Vodafone in the beginning, you know. And it was always in the evening and the weekends I was working on it. And when we did a holiday, I was, of course, booking on a high guide. And what I always did was also, we did go to Japan in 2017. I want to book a high guide, so I was just dropping some campaigns over there. Kyoto, Tokyo, Seoul. We went also to South Korea. So yeah, it's really easy to grow, and I got an opportunity to book a high guide. But I think the most difficult parts are when you almost run out of money. And you need to think about that. You don't want to think about that, you know. You want to focus on grow and how you can improve your product better. But if the money is going down, so your company is not going to continue, you know, that's always difficult. If you think, yeah, fuck, sorry for that again, but that's the most difficult part, I think.
Yeah, we kind of actually spoke about numbers, but we always ask it. Can you buy a Porsche by doing this?
Right now?
It's a broad question. You can say right now. You can say in future. What do you see?
No, yeah, the future very simple. I think we can do easily. I always set 2 bookings a minute. There can easily be 5 minutes,
You get
5
2
bookings.
bookings a minute?
No, but that can easily be the case, and I think if we are there, we can easily pump it up to 5. There's no problem, because a lot of people are traveling, and in the future, the people are more going to travel. Why? Because people want to experience and don't want to buy stuff like a big car or a big house. I like the story that now our startups are already popping up to sell and give loans to people for going on holiday. It's already happening for houses, of course, you know. Houses, you got a mortgage. A car also, it's very normal. But now there are companies who are giving loans for going on holiday.
Yeah.
And maybe you think, oh, that's a stupid investment, but there's investment over here.
Yeah.
And people are still, especially the youth, you know, if you look at the millennials, they think about traveling. A big car, no, it's not important. I don't want to have a car. It's a burden. It's not nice to have. So if you have related to a Porsche, I don't want to buy a Porsche.
Are you a millennial?
No. I am still a millennial. Yeah, it's between 1980 and 1999. Yeah, but yeah, it's a big spectrum. But I'm still a millennial, and I'm a little bit in the phase. You know, I have a lot of friends who are thinking about a big car and a big house. Myself a little bit. It's, you know, yes, okay, it's important, but not that important. I want to go on holiday and experience. I want to bungee jump and that kind of stuff. Gives me a really nice kick, you know.